We're a boutique law firm concentrated in men's and fathers' rights in divorce, custody, and family law issues, with offices located in Nutley, Montclair, New Jersey. Today is September 19th, 2019. I am in New Jersey, as I mentioned. Those of you that are watching on any different date or in any different state, you always have to see whether or not the advice I give you in my recordings is accurate or still applies. Generally, I try to keep my tips, especially my daily tip, which is what today is, to very brief, general advice that will often be applicable, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily will be, so you always have to check. Today is my daily tip, and that is, will I be able to keep my house in a New Jersey divorce case? I did this, a real estate broker friend of mine commented about my videos. I thought this might help him, and I realized I have a bunch of friends that are real estate brokers, so I hope it helps them. I'm sure this is a question that they get often, and it may be a question that you or your spouse have. So let's go into it. Quickly and realistically speaking, chances are great you're not going to be able to keep your house. And I hate to be the one to break the bad news to you, but if you're asking the question, chances are you're not going to be able to do it. I say that because in your average household, you're going to have, before the divorce, one, maybe two incomes in one household, and the average person is sort of struggling to get by if there's children involved, or you're living in expensive areas, or you have modest incomes. Whatever the excuse may be, you have one household with two or less incomes. Now, afterwards, common sense is you're going to have two households with the same income. So there's going to be a change. Usually it's a significant one. In many circumstances, that means that the original residence just can't be maintained. Now, there are ways to do that, knowing that this is the hurdle that you have. I'm not saying that it's hopeless, there aren't any options, but you need to go in understanding that you're at a disadvantage. Moreover, the judge in New Jersey family court has no discretion whatsoever to make the other party give you the house or let you buy the house or change the price. If you can't agree on who's going to buy it or what you're going to do with it, the courts only can order it to be sold. The mortgage, if any, gets paid off, and whatever's left gets divided between the two of you. Court can't make you keep it, and they can't make the other person allow you to keep it. It's all financial. So if you are interested in keeping the house, you need to know going in first that you're at a disadvantage because there's something that you want. The other person knows, the other party knows the difficulty you're going to experience, as well as the fact that the finances and the law are against you. That being said, your options are, first, if there's going to be distributions of other assets and debts, to use the house as a way to offset some of that. So if you were getting money from an asset, a retirement account, a stock account, or if there's credit card debt that you think you can manage a larger payment, you can take that or give that up if it's an asset, take a debt in lieu of sharing the house equally. You can offset alimony if you're an alimony candidate. Instead of receiving alimony, you can receive the house. Nowadays, that's not a horrible idea because the loss of the tax consequences to alimony may make having a house, depending on your mortgage interest deductions and real estate taxes, which also have changed, may make it more advantageous than alimony, but you'd really have to talk to a tax attorney or accountant to find out if your specific situation benefits from that. And lastly, you can agree to keep the house until a later date, and at that time, sell it and divide the proceeds. You can use certain things to your advantage, like over the course of time you're keeping the house, you will be paying down more of the principal on the mortgage, thereby opening up more equity. You may agree to share that equity even though normally you would be entitled to it because you're the one paying down the mortgage. It will also hopefully and likely appreciate in value. You can offer to give some or even more or all of the future appreciation to the other party in exchange for being able to keep the house. So there are a lot of options, but the important thing to realize too, one is the court can't make it happen, and two, you're at a disadvantage because the other side knows it's challenging. But if you can take my advice inside of those options, dividing assets, waiving some alimony, or holding until a later date, you might actually be able to do it. I hope that helps you or people that you know. If it does, please give a like and share the video. You can subscribe so they get notifications when I go online. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them at whatever forum you're watching so I can address them and answer all my questions. You can also message me on any topic that I've covered or that you'd like to see me cover. I will do my best to get to it at some point in time. With that, I'm going to sign off. I am not on tomorrow. I'm going to be away for the last weekend of summer, and I will be back on Monday at some point. Not sure what time, though. Thanks. Have a great weekend.